Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks, and welcome today to another video of, well, me 3-marking something. Today I'm going to be 3-marking the STG, or, well, I'm 3-marking the STG, but this tank is also the Guard. Same with the Patriot and the T26E5, the Liberté and the AMX M449, the Defender and the Object 252U. Even though they're the same tanks, they went through this period. Wargaming went through this period of when they sold them as two separate tanks, even though that was only a skinned version. Nowadays, I think they just give you the 2D skin as well. But this was a period where you actually, if you wanted the skin, you had to buy a completely separate tank. And because of that, it means that the 3 marks, for example, are not actually the same. Like, you can't share them between tanks. They're actually two completely different tanks, so 3 mark and everything like that. So anyway, today I'm going to be playing in the STG, not the Guard, because I decided that I wanted just the STG and not the Guard. Don't ask me why, it was many years ago, so I can't actually remember. Couple of reasons for me showing you this. I've actually got 2 videos of me 3-marking things that I would like to put up. But I thought I'm going to put the STG up because this tank is actually getting buffed next patch. And it was a kind of weird buff for me because I think this thing's pretty good as it is. Like, if you don't know what this thing is all about, I'll just give you a brief summary. If you want a full in-depth, I have done a tank review on the tank. And hopefully Future Max will remember to put the link in the description. If he doesn't, then please go shout at him. But basically, it's a Russian medium tank, tier 8, with a rear-mounted turret, which is why you can see me driving backwards a lot of the time, because if you drive forwards around a corner in this thing, a lot of hull comes around the corner before you actually manage to get your gun round the corner. But yeah, so it's a Russian medium tank, rear-mounted turret. It's got a 122mm gun, because as you can see, it hits really, really hard. It's really, really nice for 390. But unlike most Russian 122mm guns, it's actually very, very accurate. It's one of the most accurate tier 8 mediums, I'm pretty sure. Aim time's pretty decent. It's just the reload is absolutely abysmal, which, to be fair, is a bit like the new T22 122 TM. It's got the DPM isn't quite that bad, I'd like to point out, but it's kind of a similar kind of. The gun is really accurate. The gun has got really good aim time. It has really nice alpha, but the thing that kind of lets it down is the DPM. Other than that, the tank's armor isn't great. The turret is meh. It can bounce some stuff, but don't rely on it. It's not like a T54 turret or something like that where you can actually use it. Gun depression isn't great because obviously rear-mounted turret and Russian. Mobility, you're kind of seeing the extent of it. Again, kind of average. It's not great. It's not terrible. There's a P43 there, Max. Good job. And yeah, that's pretty much all she writes. So as you can see, this is actually the game, I'm pretty sure, that I 3-marked this tank. And so far, I've not been making incredible trades. Against that Tiger, I took way too many hits. The M44 seems to, you know, love to look at me. Well, to be honest, why not? And I didn't actually even mention the matchup. We got an absolutely amazing matchup. We were at, like, I think going into this game I was at 94.5% on my mark. And we got this matchup and I was like, right, if I don't do it this game, then I need to stop and just chill for a bit. We're on Pearl River, so not the world's most amazing map. I actually don't like the new Pearl River that much. I prefer the old one. Again, I'm reversing here. It's just because I'm expecting things to poke up. I need to be in a position where I can run away quickly. It's reversing in this thing is, I do it for 2 reasons. One, like I said earlier, is because you get so much hull come around the corner before your gun comes around if you go forwards. And secondly, obviously, you can run away a lot quicker if you reverse than if you go forwards. Come out, kill the A44. I was going to abandon the middle because I was obviously outgunned here. There was an A44 and a P43. And oh, look, there's my friend again. But then when the T43 came up, I was like, no, I'm going to support him. Ooh, nice shot into the T25 too. 361. It is really nice in this thing. You hit like a tank destroyer. Obviously, 122mm gun, 390. It's very nice. You hit hard. Like, people don't expect it from a tier 8 medium. They don't expect that 390 alpha. Penetration's not too bad. I think it's 212 on the standard. Yeah, 212. And 248 on the premium. A little on the low side, but not too much of an issue. The only time you're really going to struggle with that is against tier 10s. And our team is, quite honestly, quite badly losing this game. We're only on 710 HP. The enemies are on nearly 3k still. And bearing in mind that we didn't start with a huge amount because, you know, it's only a tier 6 game, that's quite a big difference. And also, they outnumber us like 2 to 1 nearly. Oh, now exactly 2 to 1. But, you know, RT's still going to RT in it. P43. Can't see him. Break the wall. Shoot the tink. Move out the way. It's so nice when you do get put in one of these matchups, when you're taking off like half of a tier 6 medium's health in one shot. You saw there, I didn't want to expose myself by going out above the wall, beyond the wall, so just used third person, auto-aimed, and very nicely managed to finish him off. Again, I'm full of indecision here. The VK75 kills the T43, so I'm like, I don't know where really to go. Put one into the Caro to put him down to a one-shot, and then I think about going out again, but I go, no, that's not a good idea. I've still got to try and work with Artie here, but quite honestly, I'm not looking thankful for it's not looking promising for my chance of victory this game. Especially as our RT just gets taken out by their RT, which means, oh, look, the M44's on reload. Oh, no, wait, he's probably already reloaded because it's an M44. But nonetheless, it's not been a bad game. 3.8k damage, 200 assisted. I did do quite a lot of assistance damage in this tank because it's quite easy to, obviously, it being a 390 alpha, it's quite easy to take the tracks off of things in one shot. I get spotted by the VK and I go, oh crap, RT. Hug the building. Hug the building. There you go, we're good. And then I get unspotted. I decide, you know what? I want to go up round here, see if I can get a shot into the side of the VK. Round here is probably a bit RT safe. And I did not expect there to be a T25-2 there. That means I'm spotted. And that means an M44 is never really that far away. So upsetting when you're in those late game situations and you're on low health and there's RT in the game. It's so difficult to win because the positions you can go on the map is instantly like halved at best. Like on a map like this where there's not a huge, I mean, this isn't the worst map in terms of RT cover, but it's definitely not the best. But I don't know what I was meant to do there. Oh, well, the best thing for me to do would have not have been to have lost so much health here at the start of the game. I lost like well over half my health. Potentially try and back up quicker, but yeah, potentially go forwards. I don't really know, but I secured the 3 mark anyway, so I wasn't really too worried. And this is actually quite a weird 3 mark for me because I never really tried to 3 mark this thing. I just played it. I played it and got a 2 mark like when it first came out. And then when I was in one of my premium tank grinding moods, just kind of played it a couple of games and it took me up to like 91%. And then when I played this game like a couple of days ago, I literally just went, do you know what? I might try and 3 mark it. And literally played like 3 or 4 games and managed to go from, I think it was 92 because the marker changed slightly because I hadn't played it in so long, up to 95 in like 3 or 4 games. So if any of you out there are looking for a tank to 3 mark that's kind of interesting to play and not too tricky to 3 mark, then this thing is definitely up there. I mean, I think, well, my 3 mark mod says 2,500 damage average across 100 games, which is not impossible. You can play this thing as well like a tank destroyer. Like, it's really not that difficult. I mean, it is when you're on fire like this, but it's really honestly not that difficult to play, and you can play it like a tank destroyer and just farm damage from it at range, and then at the end of the game push in, try and use your HP a bit, side scrape, try and avoid shells. Just, even if in this tank you put, I don't know, maybe 1500 damage in at the start of the game while sniping, which is very capable of doing, and then use your hit points to trade with other tier 8 mediums, or even tier 8 heavies, just trade 1 for 1, and you're going to be up to that 2.5k easy, near enough every game. Obviously, get a bit of tracking damage, get a bit of spotting damage as well, and you're absolutely laughing. So yeah, this is definitely a tank that I think a lot of people would be surprised that they can 3-mark. I think with a lot of people, they always go, I can never 3-mark a tank. I think it'd be really tricky. And there's a lot of people who obviously can quite easily 3-mark tanks, but it's not as hard as you think. You just have to play quite a lot of games in a row, get used to the tank, get used to the feel for the tank, get used to what positions work, what positions don't on certain maps. And honestly, you could probably 3-mark a hell of a lot more than you actually think. Anyway, I've been talking for long enough. The game's been over about 7 minutes max. I mean, stop talking. We'll go jump into, I was going to say Tanks GG then. No, this isn't a tank review. We'll go hop over into what replays and we'll go take a look at the post-game stats. So, there we go, guys. That was, yeah, like I said, 3-mark game on my STG. Unfortunately, it was a loss, so I didn't actually ace the tank. I mean, I needed to do a little bit more to ace it because we got high caliber, so we got courageous resistance XP, so I would have needed to do a little more for the ace. I'm pretty sure I did ace it in one of those like 4 or 5 games that I played 2-3 market, and obviously I also aced it. I've aced this thing several times. It's not really, if you're a good player, it's not a tricky tank to play. And in my opinion, like I said, I didn't really try for the 3-mark. It just kind of happened. So when that happens, it's a tank that I always say, yeah, it's fairly easy to 3-mark if I can do it by not really trying. I would say most people are probably able to do it with a little bit of effort. But yeah, high caliber, first class, and obviously the 3 marks. 3,814 damage and 425 assisted. Finished top on our team on damage by quite a long way. Top in the game on damage by quite a long way as well. And top of our team on XP. Just a shame, really, that we couldn't win that game because I'd have liked to have done a little bit more. And also, obviously, I'd have liked to have won as well. But, I mean, quite a lot. Our 2 tier 7 tank destroyers did 0 damage. I mean, our Lerva did alright. Artie did alright. T150 put a shift in, to be fair, considering his tier 6 in that matchup. But just wasn't quite enough. Enemy team just did more. Fired 13 shots, hit 11 and penned 11, which is not too bad in this tank. I was running all kinds of credit reserves and battle payments was on in the clan and everything like that. So we made 150,000 credits profit. That's what's also quite nice about this tank, is the fact that you make a load of profit because the shell cost isn't ridiculously high. Obviously, alpha damage being quite high. So if you do try and 3-mark it, you make credits at the same time, which, if you ask me, is an absolute win-win. And yeah, doing 3,814 damage. So, that's all she wrote for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. If you're new to the channel, no. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like. Oh my god, I can't even do this bit right. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If any of you guys want to know what tanks I've marked, what tanks I've 3-marked, what tanks I've 2-marked, 1-marked, aced, everything like that, and what tanks I have, it's all available on my tank list. The link should be in the description. Just if you're curious, I constantly update it, so if I ever 3-mark something new, it'll always go up on there first. It's also what I use over on my streams to do my random tanks and what people can use for their tank picks. If you haven't already, head over to my twitch.tv channel. Link again should be in the description down below. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.